Chapter 7, The Interrogation. A blindfold stole Alex's vision. His positive feelings on temporarily joining the Hive had wavered as he fantasized how significant it would be to die in a blaze of courage. He was stripped of everything but his clothing. Reese had been placed beside him, made obvious through his fidgeting and gratuitous groans. The negative aftermath of his pill was taking effect. The Hive did not speak. The only sounds were breathing and the boat's mechanisms. Alex was led outside by firm hands. He detected the scent of seawater. His boots submerged within it before transferring to what felt like incredibly small grains. Every question I ask, I want honesty. I always see the truth. The collective. "You've been with them long?" the Hive who led Alex asked. "A few years." "Before?" "I was with my family. They're all gone." "Killed by who, me?" "Yes, I escaped the attack." "You are strong, it shows. I remember your face, seen it in many places. Last was when you struck my heart. Why fight?" "I protect people." "So do I. If my bodies were yours, what would you do?" "Rebuild what you destroyed," Alex answered without hesitation. "A formidable task requires courage, decisiveness." "I have both." Alexander King. Alex was taken aback by the knowing of his name. "Why is a collective man with a libertarian?" the alien asked. "I've promised not to speak of it. You claim loyalty, yet you falter. I admire courage. Now show true courage." Alex's blindfold retracted. In front of him was a sword. Next to it was Commander Hamish, his former leader. He had been confirmed dead. His current presence proved it to be a lie. His loss of weight was a small physical change compared to the significance of the black W inked onto his forehead. The mark of a willing loyalist. "Alex," Hamish shrieked, regret beaming through his voice. "A traitor to you." Hamish did not deny the allegation. Alex gripped the steel sword. "A traitor to me. Kill him." "Alex, don't join. It's die." Hamish's pleading ceased once Alex plunged the blade into his chest. Alex was torn. He immediately felt guilty. Hamish did not deserve death at the hand of his subordinate. In an attempt to relieve his guilt, Alex theorized that Hamish had been taken by the Hive. The red pouring from his wound disapproved the theory. Alex withdrew the sword and caught the body of his commander. I'm sorry," Alex admitted. "Prove yourself," Hamish said as a last command, its meaning vague. As Hamish perished, the Hive body stood blankly. For more than a minute, it did not speak nor move. Alex saw the hiccup as a chance to escape, but he knew nothing of his landscape or the location of the others, dashing away his hopes. "Hello?" Alex asked. There was no reply from the Hive. "Good choice," a woman from behind stated. Alex turned to find that in her left hand was a skinny metal stick, and in her right was a vial filled with thin black liquid. "What about the Hive? It's nothing to worry about," she claimed, dipping the metal tip into the liquid. The substance did not drip when she withdrew it. "My hand," Alex requested. "Others choose the forehead, makes their loyalty visible. I'm not like other people." The black tip torched his hand and he groaned in pain. He looked away as the marking was etched into his skin, reminding himself that he was betraying the collective only in appearance, that he would come to them with enough information to justify the choice. He had already discovered the existence of its island, and more would be coming. "Come on," she said once she lifted the needle. The W etched onto Alex's hand was the identification of a loyalist. Alex looked to the water, briefly wondering whether it could wash away his blasphemy, knowing that it wouldn't, and that he would never be welcomed back into Zone 6 with open arms. A line of guardsmen took the coastline, comprised of both Hive and Loyalist bodies. The distinction between the two was obvious. The Hive stood with solid stoicism. The Loyalists were identifiable by their black markings and servitude to human nature, unable to stand still without shifting feet or craning heads. The Loyalist bodies outnumbered the Hive, subverting Alex's expectations. The line did not have a visible end, making the prospect of an escape route more difficult than he'd imagined. A man stood at the beach alone. Alex was relieved when he saw it was Takeo. But when he realized that both Reese and David were missing, he was immediately concerned, and it prompted dark thoughts within him that they had perished. But he pushed them away by guessing that they were in the same position, isolated, and forced to answer questions about who they were. Takeo caught Alex's eyes and looked downward in shame. His forehead had been branded. He would not be allowed within the collective without excessive political backing. To console him, Alex flashed his right hand, showing that they had both taken a fall in status. You are mine, former titles now gone, the Hive informed. Where are the others? Takeo asked. Alex tightened, immediately questioning whether their temporary leader was a fool's gambit. Alive, the Hive responded. Takeo almost spoke again, but Alex sent him a harsh look, sending him to silence. Follow, the Hive continued. The Hive walked them through a jungle of trees that Alex had only seen in relic photographs from the old world. Every few feet along the brown base, the bark stemmed outwards. The leaves were in the shape of green triangles. They walked along the only solid path. Your role, protect me, protect my stock if you succeed. Rewards, great ones. The Hive stopped moving. Its bodies coughed at uneven moments. For the first time, Alex saw the Hive lack cohesion. I leave, you stay, some of the bodies announced, but they all ran away. There's something wrong, Alex said. He had been left alone twice in an hour. The Hive's state was not a coincidence. We can't talk, it's going to be back soon, Takeo warned. We need to find the others. This place is crawling with guards, I don't think that... I'm so sorry that you had to wait, a woman said. She was young with a slender figure. Time had been put into crafting her beauty. Her nose was thin, black hair straight, clean white teeth. As an alternative to military garments, she wore a short black dress. Despite the environment, there was not a single particle of dirt on it. The only ugly part about her were the inked W's that covered her body in more than one place. Her stomach was round, indicating pregnancy. I'm Reina, has your role been explained? Reina asked. We are protectors of the Hive, this island, Alex stated. You're in one of the best places you can be, some others aren't so lucky. Her positive view of the island was odd. Alex hoped that all the people of the Hive's island were like her. If they weren't, it would mean a lonely existence. What are the others doing? Alex asked. They have a mission, you have yours. They reached a fork in the path where there was a path straight ahead, one going to the right and another to the left. The woman moved them to the left, and after a couple minutes the woman began to speak. You're from the collective? The woman asked both Alex and Takeo. They nodded in response, curious as to what else she would want to know. What do people even do all day? Alex found the question stupid. She was clearly not a woman of the world. If she was, she would have known that there was no time for leisure. All communities focused on the survival of their people, which meant time spent farming, hunting, and building infrastructure. Try to survive, Takeo answered. Like us. We're not the same, he defended. Alex wanted to shush him, but Reina's prying ears restricted him from doing so. How so? You might even be a little better, Takeo clarified. I would hope so. We'll do whatever we can to pay the Hive back for its generosity, Alex claimed, making sure to appear interested in its will. Anything that may not be the right way to live, stick to your morals. To protect something, sometimes one has to change them. What did you tell the Hive of your identity? Reina asked. That I defend people who can't defend themselves, Takeo revealed. You're not the first of the collective to come. I've heard those words countless times before from people who left us. I expect you have the same independent spirit. I do, Takeo said. Good, we'll need it. Who was it that left? Alex asked. His thoughts drifted to the many officers and commanders who had departed on perimeter missions and never returned. It was assumed that they had died, but Alex doubted that was the end point of many of their stories. Their names don't matter, they shared the same fate. They tried to leave, and when they were caught, they begged for mercy. It gave him the chance to leave? Alex asked, unable to hide the excitement in his voice. It used to let some go. Why? Alex tried to calm himself, keeping his voice neutral. Many different reasons, Reina vaguely stated, leaving Alex struggling to uncover the meaning in her answer. But keep your focus on what's important. The end of the dirt path was shrouded by two large leaves. Reina lifted both and uncovered an alternative landscape. It was flat ground which had been cleared of trees. Replacing them were multiple small shelters next to one another. The entire north grounds of the houses were being operated by beautiful women, all of them wearing the same outfit, a black dress. The north side of the grounds was filled with the homes, while the back end was of an entirely different nature. It was an armory stocked full of guns and melee weapons of the New World, all being handled by children, none of them over the age of 12. This is what you're here to protect, the woman continued. Alex looked to the children's faces. Just when he thought he didn't recognize any of them, a familiar one stood out. It was Patton. Alex chose to restrain himself from approaching Patton, as he was unsure of the identity that Patton had crafted for himself within the island. If he had not revealed that he belonged to the collective, Alex's recognition of him would place the child in danger. All other thoughts fell away from Alex as he focused on Patton's nearly impossible reemergence. He toyed with the horrendous idea that the child had somehow been a spy of the Hive, but it was dashed away when he saw that Patton lacked the marks of a loyalist. The realization then dawned on him that if Patton was within the island, he had left Zone 6. The reason why would need to be explained. Watching the training yard, Alex saw for the first time that the enemy did not exemplify evil. The children showed joyful smiles as they learned, and the Hive present bent down to their height level while teaching. Correcting their body position when one could take an incorrect shot, some leaned forwards as the Hive spoke words of encouragement, while Patton and a few others backed away. "Your quarters are this way," Raina said, interrupting Alex's speculation. "Who are the kids?" Alex asked. "Our master's children made only of the strongest genetic material," Raina answered as her hand rested on her flowering belly. "All of them?" "No, some are from opposing factions. We bring them here. Rehabilitate them from their old ways and raise them right." "What do you do with people who don't line up with the way you think?" Takeo asked. "Nobody is ever wasted by our leader. They all serve a purpose. What does the collective do?" "Kill them." Alex reluctantly walked up the hill, hoping that he would be given the chance to see Patton once again. A tight squeeze gripped Alex's wrist. It was not strong, but the intention was clear. The Hive was trying to take him. He quickly lifted his hand to try to save himself, but when he turned, he saw it was Patton. "Alex." He gripped Alex in a tight embrace. "You're here." "You know each other?" Raina asked. "My mentee," Alex answered. "You should have told me. I don't appreciate being lied to," Raina said, killing the moment between them. "Nobody does," Takeo said. "Takeo, you're here too." Patton broke free of Alex and embraced Takeo. "He has training to do. Try your best not to disturb him," Raina reminded them. "Of course," Alex stated. Alex was led to his sleeping quarters, which was nothing more than a hut that he would be sharing with Takeo. All that was inside were 2 cots. "It's not what I thought it would be," Takeo said. Alex circled his finger to indicate that they check their surroundings first. He stepped outside to search for any lurking bodies, before conducting an internal search for any advanced technology used for spying. What isn't? The Hive. Nothing ever really is. It showed us mercy. We don't know if that's true for the others. We need to find them. Now. Soon, Takeo said. Alex knew that Takeo was right. "I can't believe that it has kids," Takeo continued. "From using bodies that is not its own." "The 2 of you must be hungry. Come with me," Raina said as she stepped through the purple curtain that acted as a door. "We're both fine," Alex decided. "I am," Takeo said. Alex realized that Takeo was probably right. Rejecting a generous offer may be an insult to the Hive's giving nature. The men followed Raina and were taken into the forest with a few others standing in a single file line, moving to a fork in the road that split into 4 paths. "Don't go further north than this point," Raina warned. "It is off limits except for those who are chosen." Alex knew that at the first opportunity available, it would be the first place that he would go to find David, Reese, Lonnie, and Gianna. "What's over there?" Alex asked. "Precious cargo." Alex held off on further verbal investigation, as it might arouse suspicion to ask too many questions at one time. He wondered whether cargo meant human bodies. The group moved further left until they found another open field, where a great feast was laid before the loyalists. There were various thick slabs of meat, vegetables, and fruits of vivid colors, and some foods that Alex did not recognize. When he sat down, Alex took a portion of food from a wooden bowl ahead of him. It was a white paste, put together in lumps. It was soft on his tongue and tasted like a rare delicacy. Another delicacy was put in front of Alex when he was almost full. A few slices of fruit, cut in triangular shapes that had pink filling embedded with black seeds and green crusts. Alex ate only a small amount, thinking that it may be poison. But Takeo indulged in both the food and the alcohol that came after. After spending the rest of their day in a state of leisure, Alex walked back into his hut speculating about the future. The landscape was free of moving bodies, which meant that the island's guards would not be a great hindrance. On clear nights, Alex decided that along with Takeo, he would sneak out and discover where David and Reese had gone. As he stumbled into bed, the horrifying thought that the food he had ingested could be an assassination method entered his mind. But the speculation quickly vanished, for if the Hive desired his death, it would be done in a direct manner. A manner that Alex would encounter if he was caught betraying the Hive. An act that would make him wish for death by poison.